So as a roofer, it's not a real popular opinion, although I am finding out that more and more roofers feel the same way that I do. But I'm not a huge fan of solar. Now, in the right cases, it's okay, but in many cases, it isn't. And I just wanted to give you some of the reasons that I'm not a huge fan. First of all, I think it's incredibly ugly, especially when people put it on the front of their home. When it's on the back and you can't see it from the street, it's not so bad. But all those big panels up there, especially if the roof is an entirely different color, it's pretty gross looking. The solar panels themselves are an extremely expensive investment. And to me, it's kind of like buying a swimming pool. I just put in a swimming pool last year. I paid about $100,000 for my swimming pool. If you're going to buy solar panels, you're going to be investing $20,000 to $50,000. Most Americans on average move every 4 years right now, I think is the statistic. And so that means that when you go to resell your home, you're not going to get that value back out of what you invested, and you're not going to be able to take them with you and to the next house either. And so you're going to lose that investment. The first thing I would tell people is that you need to be committed to living in your home for a long time, and then it does make a lot more sense. Like me with my pool, now I plan on not moving. Then I found out not too long ago that you're buying this investment and you finance it for 20 or 30 years. That's usually the racket, that you're going to finance this thing. And the panels themselves, and it's going to depend on the brand and the style and everything like that, but generally they lose their efficiency 4% per year. So let's say you put it on a short note and it's only a 20-year, it's going to lose 4% per year. And so by the time you've paid off the panels, they've lost 80% of their efficiency. And so it's not a long-term investment. This is something you're going to have to reinvest in if you want to do it again. It takes about, it depends on the math and your payments and all of that, but it's going to take you about 10 years before you even get ahead to where you're ahead on the energy you're saving based on the panels. And again, if you move, or you're never even going to reach that point. Solar became really popular around here because we had this event in 2021 called Snowvid, where it never snows in Texas, and we got like 5 or 6 inches, and a lot of people lost power, and they didn't like that. I mean, it wasn't fun. A lot of people went a week without power. And so they are thinking that they're going to get solar so that they're never caught in that situation again. But what they don't tell you a lot of times is that even if you get solar panels and you make the investment, you're not going to be able to store power unless you buy these batteries. And the batteries are an additional expense, and they're extremely expensive. So it's not only solar panels, now you're going to need those batteries if you actually want to store the power. And if you're afraid that you're going to be caught without power, there's some amazing generators out there that cost a lot less. And then, at least our area, you have to check with your utility company, but where we live, our utility company doesn't buy back power from you. So if you put in a lot of panels and you have excess power, it goes back to the utility company. But if they don't buy it back, then you're not making any money on that. Now, some do, some don't. So you really need to investigate your utility company, and also if there's kickbacks and if there's programs and what, to make sure that it makes sense for you. So there's some people who just love the idea of it and they think it's cool, kind of like me. I think it'd be cool to put it in an RV so that I could go camping and not have to plug in somewhere and be totally efficient. And that can be a good idea to get solar if it's just something that really floats your boat, or if you're going to be in your house for a long term, or if you're willing to put in the investment that it takes to get the return back out of it. But for most people, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And there's a lot of solar companies out there, and it's a racket, and they're making a lot of money, and they go out of business very quickly. There's a lot of turnover in the solar industry. So be careful.